I think there's been a miseducation of the quote-unquote Negro. That's what the book is by Carter G. Woodson. I think it's Carter G. Woodson's called. Black people have been miseducated once they got to the West. A new type of black person in the West was molded. So you came from a conservative place, and then you were placed in the West via colonization and slavery, and you were molded into a new type of black. And that new type of black person became somebody who was quite left-leaning due to the things that they went through, and so they had to become more left-leaning and more, you can say, more beggy. Like I said, I think that black peoples also don't understand that you are allowed within the black space, within the quote unquote black Western community, to have two wings of the same bird. I think black people are very used to there only being one wing, and the only way in which you can be black is to have this one wing. Well, I say, you know what? No, you're allowed two wings. It's the same bird. If you're fighting generally to protect yourselves and uplift yourselves, you can be different. That's what I think. What do you think, Jesse? Does that make sense?
No, I'm with you for once.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for once, I'm actually agreeing.
That you can have a left side and a right side of black people. So
100%.
like white people have it also. Like all European nations have it.
I feel like far right black people are like looked down upon.
Like who would you say is far right?
In this country, what's his name? Lammy?
David Lammy.
Yeah. Is he not? He's right leaning, no?
When you say far right, you mean what, more conservative?
No, I don't mean far right. So I mean anyone on the right. If you're black, you've got to be like on the left.
Yes. I think black people are used to left-leaning black people who are about, affirmative action or helping black people out, blah, 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 which I wouldn't say is generally a bad thing. But like you were saying, I think more conservative leaning black people are kind of looked down upon. I think black people are kind of used to having people who are about essentially pandering to black audiences. I have my own politics, and my politics are very simple. I want the...
Well, apparently Lammy is left Labour. My mistake. Who is... I'm thinking I got the wrong person. There's a black face on the conservative side of things.
I don't know who you're talking about. Not Kwasi Kwarteng. Kwasi Kwarteng.
Yeah, my mistake, guys.
I don't know, but I don't know who you're talking about. But,
sorry, guys, my bad.
Yeah. What I'm saying is that, left-leaning black people are kind of more accepted by the quote-unquote black worldwide community, whereas people on the right side aren't. And I actually think when you look at it historically, black people have been quite conservative. They just don't understand. They just don't understand that they have been. Black people generally, if you go back to Africa, they're quite conservative. They're about family, okay? They aren't about this LGBTQ plus IA plus something, right? That's not who they are, whether you like them or don't. They have family values. They're very big on tradition. That's quite conservative. So I don't understand why, when you get to the West, why black people have become so left-leaning. Because if you even go to the Caribbean, or if you go to places in Africa, black peoples are actually quite conservative. It's only from my point of view that black peoples, once they get to the West, they become quite left-leaning. That's my observation. Do you know?
No, I'm with you. I was gonna say that may or may not be true. I'm not saying it is or isn't.
Yeah.
But if it is, why do you think that is?
Do you know why I think it's the case? I think, like I said to the guys that were here before, the DTM podcast, the guys that people have been lambasting in the comments. I think there's been a miseducation of the quote-unquote Negro. That's what the book is by Carter G. Woodson. I think it's Carter G. Woodson's called. Black people have been miseducated once they got to the West. A new type of black person in the West was molded. So you came from a conservative place, and then you were placed in the West via colonization and slavery, and you were molded into a new type of black. And that new type of black person became somebody who was quite left-leaning due to the things that they went through, and so they had to become more left-leaning and more You can say more beggy.
Harry Flashman in the comments said blacks aren't left, they just vote it. LOL. Which is kind of like, I kind of get what he's saying.
Blacks aren't left, they just what?
Vote it.
They revolt left.
No, they just vote.
They
VOT.
vote left.
Yeah, just vote
it's
left.
very weird, bro.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's actually funny when he says that, because me growing up, like, I grew up during when Tony Blair came into power.
Right.
And it's like everyone in my neighborhood, like, if you're black, no, you got to vote Labour. Like, you have to vote Labour.
And it's like, why?
No.
Because my mum done it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
Because that party in the UK, the Labour, were kind of seen as the quote unquote people of color party. Do you know what I mean? They do things for quote unquote people of color. And yeah, I think black people need to be more. They need to be more cerebral and less emotional. I think black people need to be more cerebral, less emotional. They need to start thinking that it's okay to have two sides of the same bird. It doesn't mean there's only one way to be black. I mean, I've been called non-black. I've been called a coon, and I've been called an Uncle Tom. I've been called all kinds of things because I speak to different people. But that doesn't. My politics don't change. My politics are for the upliftment and the forward movement of black people globally. It doesn't matter whether you're from Zambia, America, doesn't matter if you're from Jamaica, whether you're from, I don't know, Botswana, Nigeria, I don't care. And the reason why I have that stance, just want people to understand, is because when it comes to business, I think that's the way in which that people are moving themselves forward in these days and times. And if a Chinese man steps into a room in business, he's taken seriously because people think, okay, the Chinese do business. Even an Indian man steps into the room to do business, Indians are taken seriously doing business. White people, Jewish people, Japanese people are all taken seriously. When a black person steps into a room to do business with people, generally people have some kind of skepticism. And my thing is, if a group of Zimbabweans, for instance, are good in business and they represent themselves and step into a room and do good business like the Nigerians are doing right now, that gives me a easier ride because they look like me. So if I step into that room and it's time for me to do business, I'm going to be taken seriously also. Does that make sense?
100%.
So yeah, that's the reason why. But you know what, Jesse?
By the way, one of the people in the comments thought this stream was just about Candace Owens, and that the title was a bit misleading. But we move.
We just spoke about Candace Owens.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn.
I think she's cute though, Candace Owens.
Candace Owens is kind of cute.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. But
how dare you judge her for her looks alone? Look at you.
But she doesn't like black guys like you. But like me, because you're not black. You're any color that it could be. But yeah.
How do you feel about the term black? Sorry, there's some people in the comments saying that black is a derogatory term.
Oh, you see, I actually hear what they're saying. Black can be a derogatory term, and a new type of black was created. I think I hear what people are saying. You can use the term. You can refer to yourself via your tribe, via your country, by your nation. You know, I don't have problems with people doing that.